Hey everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It's a wonderful morning. And I said that I was going to wait till people got into the live. Only made the announcement that I was going to do a live a few minutes ago. Hey Erica, how are you? Good morning. If you can hear me, Erica, give me a thumbs up. Hey Terrell or Terrell, how are you? Sandman. That's what I'm going to be talking about. Sandman kind of things in a dream. This morning I felt really compelled. I had a I posted, good morning, thank you. I have my window open because what I'm doing is smoking a cigar at 10:42 in the morning. Can't help it. I had to. Good morning, I hear you good. Now my computer is slow and I don't have the best camera on my laptop. I'm using my laptop. I don't have the best camera. So it may pixel periodically. It may do a couple of things. And so, hey, Asia May, good morning. Listen, this morning I really felt compelled to smoke this cigar. Only a little while. I got the window open. I'm just gonna put it out in a few hot seconds. Hey, Callie. But I wanted to share with you guys about dreams, lucid dreaming. If most of y'all don't know, but I do dream analysis, and I've been doing dream analysis ever since I was in church. That was one of the things that I did, was helping people interpret their dreams and dealing with the realm of the spirit. Hey, sweetie pie. Hey, girl. Hey. Dealing with things. Thank you, Asia. I've been up since 5:30 because I was jolted out of a dream, and I posted that I had a weird dream this morning, but I fell asleep like right after you left. I was out, gone. So I slept a long time. Candace came home and I didn't even realize she was home. And by the time she got home, I was full into sleep. Thank you, baby. So I've had enough time to get myself together. I laid in the bed for a little while, thinking about this dream. I wrote it down. I did a live. Well, I recorded it. And but I'm not going to tell you guys the dream. It may be kind of personal, so I'm not going to share. Just like Kaya Hall told me, don't share it, and I'm not going to share it. But let's talk about dreams. Again, most of you guys don't know that I'm a lucid dreamer. My dreams have been crazy too. Yeah, I've had like this week, this last night or this morning's dream, and then a couple of days ago, that dream was really strange. But it's nothing strange outside. It's nothing outside of what I would normally dream anyway. Just, some things I need to consider. So anyway, I've been doing dream analysis. Oh my gosh, they came kind of easy, but here's the thing. I started becoming a lucid dreamer when I was a young girl, little girl, when I would have bad dreams. And I would have such night terrors. I would have night terrors. I would be chased by witches. There would be things coming out of my closet and under my bed. And I used to be afraid, and I never would tell my parents. I don't recall sharing some of the dreams that I would have. I was always flying in the dream, flying somewhere. I also do what is called astral travel, astral project. I have gone places in the dream state that are unexplainable, and people can't or have a hard time understanding when I tell them what they said or where they were or what they were wearing at the time that I saw them in my dream. I have at least one witness to that. She's one of my Facebook friends. She's a witness to the kind of dreams that I have. But so anyway, I used to really be afraid. And I think that I mentally I'll say, talked myself out of a compulsive disorder. When I was little, elementary school, I again was afraid of doors and closets. I didn't want the doors or closet to be cracked open. I felt like, because I used to, let me stop. I used to watch scary movies. I was an avid horror movie watcher. And so when I became a preteen, maybe at, early teens, maybe preteens, I can't remember which age, someone told me to stop watching them because they would affect my spirit. And someone said that the devil would get me in my dreams. So I stopped watching them, that I would open a gateway. And so y'all know I was Pentecostal, but I started off as a Baptist growing up, but I had friends that were Pentecostals. So of course they were into the spookism. But anyway, as a young child, I had this compulsive disorder, was never, hey, Rosalind, never diagnosed or anything. Like I said, I never told my parents. But I knew it was a problem because I could not go to sleep because I had to check the doors. I'd be asleep maybe 5 minutes. If I saw the door, I had to go check the door, turn on the light. If I turned on the light and closed the door, then something was glowing behind the door. I had to get up and turn the light off, close the door, put a chair up to the door. I would have to go check the front door, open the front door, close the front door, couldn't sleep. Before I would do anything, I would have to touch it, I don't know, a million times to make sure that it's, did I really check it? No, I know I checked it, so I have to go back and check it again. And I was pulled to do these things. And as a little girl, I can remember I had gotten up, I don't know how many times, to check the doors and to check under the bed and to check it, not because I was scared of the dreams, because I felt like I left something undone. So I remember one night I just completely said, I can't do this anymore. And I refused to get up. I was, it was such a hard night. But I tossed and I turned and I said, I will not check it. I checked it and I will not check it. And so I didn't. Hey, Alexis, how are you? Hey, Ophelia. Hey, Ophelia. So I didn't. I stopped. And over time, I stopped doing it. And then in the dreams, I got so tired of being haunted, so to speak, by these, dreams that I would have. I just decided to change my dreams. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to be affected. I'm going to have power over these dreams. And somehow over the years, it developed into a skill, and I'll call it a skill, to be a lucid dreamer. And a lucid dreamer is one who is aware that they're dreaming in the midst of their dreams, and one who can change the narrative of the dream. And so, as opposed to, and let me explain. So a lot of people have dreams, and it's like they're watching a movie. They're there observing, and they're just in it, or the dream is happening to them and they are within the dream. But for me, I can be in the dream, aware that I'm dreaming, and if something is happening in the dream, I can change the dream to fit whatever it is that I want, that's beneficial for me. I ask questions in a dream. I test my area where I am. I touch my bed. If there's things happening in the dream that I feel as though they're overwhelming me, I can wake myself up out the dream, or I'll do something to wake myself up out of the dream. Usually lucid dreaming dreams happen at the point of consciousness, right when you're becoming conscious, or right when you're conscious. So a lot of times I'm consciously aware that I'm dreaming. Callie says, OMG, that is my life too. Began changing up, inventing weapons in my dreams. Me and Carrie used to fight every night when I was a child. Yeah. I used to have those fights. Let me tell you something. Okay, so here's the backstory of what and who why I'm the way I am. because I used to have these dreams, I would have the dream that demons, literally demons, people were demonic and demons, even as a little girl, and faces would change and they would come out of the woodwork, and I would be at church and they would change into these monsters and all kinds of stuff. And in the dreams, I would devise weapons. I would say things, and I remember rehearsing rehearsing. Well, when I have a dream that I feel like I can't control, or when something is happening to me in the dream, these are the things that I'm going to say in the dream to empower me, to give me strength in the dream, so that I can overcome whatever is happening to me in the dream. So, because I was a Christian, and then as a teenager, preteen, teenager, I would use, well, Ophelia, I believe so, because, I'm just gonna, I'll hold that off. But hey, Rosalind, I have lucid dreams, but typically it's relatives and friends that have passed on. Oh, that's a little bit more than a lucid dream, Rosalind. You might need to share that, Miss Medium. Speaking to people from the great beyond. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, you're really gifted anyway, but I'm not going to even get into that. There's giftings that you have that you don't even tell people about. There's things that you see, hear, feel, perceive, and all the kind of stuff that you don't share with people, because it's just really not what people that are accepting of, but you are a powerful gift. And I'll leave it there. Bless you, Rosalind. Anyway, so I would do these things. And so in the dreams, because I was a Christian, and I was a serious Christian as a teenager, I fought back and forth with salvation, being saved, acting holy and not. But for the most part, I was really serious about it. For a long stint, I was really, really sold out. You're welcome, Rosalind. I was really serious about it. And so I would say, the Spirit of the Lord has empowered me to overcome every enemy, every spirit. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Every spirit that's not like the Spirit of the living God, I take control over. Oh, excuse me. All kinds of stuff. Great rising. And so I would say just anything to give me the upper hand in the dream. And so it became such a weapon that I would use, that whenever there was a visitation or happening in my dream, I would be able to not be the victim in it. Okay. So having said that, I have had, and I remember saying to you guys a while back that one day I would tell you about the dreams that I've had and the experiences that I've had in the spirit realm. And I don't know if this is a good time to do it or not, but I've had some really, really malevolent and benevolent experiences during the dream state. Hey. And a lot of times I would get messages. So I began, as I matured, to understand that even though these are malevolent happenings, that there are messages, things for me to see, things for me to write down and be aware of. And a lot of times I get messages about world events and world happenings. I remember having a dream about the coming of President Obama. I didn't know who he was, but I knew that there was one coming. He was coming. And I had the dream when Bush was in office. So when Bush was in office, as a matter, I knew love. I'm new, love and light. Oh, sorry, I can't. I wear reading glasses. I don't know where they are, so I can't see. Blessings to you. Was that Yahira? Am I saying it right? Blessings to you. Blessings. Anyway, so I heard distinctly in a dream, I heard, y'all gonna be upset with me, to vote for Bush. I voted for him the first time. I heard distinctly, vote for him. And I said, why? And I heard, because if you don't, then there will not be a need for a savior or salvation. But salvation was translated differently. He said that if I did not vote for him, then the one who was coming would not get here, because there had to be a need for someone different. It's what we say. It was more to it than that. Not that Obama was a savior, not by a savior by a long shot. Okay, understand what I'm saying? But there was a need for change. And I wrote a blog years ago about the wind of change and what happened in that dream, and what came in on the wind. So anyway, these dreams, now let me just say to you all that if you're having night terrors, if you're having those what they call the witches riding your back, when you have the what are those things called, y'all? I know you know. I can't even dream paralysis, right? When you're at the point where you feel pressure. I've had all of those. I've had serious dream paralysis, and I've awakened in the morning with bruises and scratches when I've had dreams that something was at the foot of my bed, and there would be used to be scratches along my leg. And so I told my pastor one time, you're scratching yourself in your dream. Possibly. But I know that there are things that happen. I've had dreams where I was burned with something, and I woke up with a bruise where the burn was in the dream by entities. I've had experiences where there was loving, benevolent experiences of people from the past, and angels, and my ring is broken, and angels and things of that nature. And I've gotten them and messages. So let me I'm gonna go past that one. Let me just share this dream with you. And I was really strong. Again, I said, in the church, and one of my giftings, among the others, were prophecy, gift of prophecy, prophetic dreams, prophetic teaching, things like that. And again, I told you I was Pentecostal, so that's how we roll. Devil riding your back, can't wake up. Yeah, that's what it was. So I remember saying, one of a friend of mine and her family had moved in with me, and this was long ago when my son was little, and there was just some strange occurrences happening. Like I was losing friends, and there was a tension in the house. There was some things going on, and I looked to this person for as a stronger, older, wiser, spiritual sister who was on her shit, on top of her game. And I couldn't figure out why things were happening to me. And so we were talking about one night the Holy Ghost coming to visit a person in their dreams. And I said I wanted to have a visitation from God. I got tired of all these damn devils coming to see me and talk to me and having conversations about various things. I wanted to have an experience from God. And I wanted a visitation of the Holy Spirit. I was already a tongue talker, holy roller, so that wasn't, I wasn't getting that. So one night I was lying in the bed, and this is where the lucid dreaming comes into play. I was lying in the bed, and generally when I'm getting ready to have a visitation or an occurrence, I leave my body. I leave my body, and I can see, I usually perch myself kind of like in a balcony or theater type seating where I can see down into the room where I am lying, or where I am. So this occurrence was, I was lying in the bed, and I left myself, and I could left my body, and I could see, I sat up in the top of the room. Now, it was a warm summer's night. I had the window open, and I had the fan in the window before I went to bed. When I turned the fan on, the fan blew hot air. It was hot. And I didn't have air conditioning in this old house in the room that I was in. Okay. There was a window unit in another room, but I wasn't near that room. So I had my bedroom window open with a box fan in the window, and the room was hot, and the fan was blowing hot air, and I laid there with a thin nightgown on top of the cover, right under a sheet, and so I could feel the heat on me from the wind, from the fan. But when I left my body, I could see myself on the bed laying there. And oh, excuse me, the fan started to, I started to feel two breezes blowing. The hot air was blowing and cold air was blowing at the same time. So I kept moving as I saw myself. I kept moving because I could feel this cold, icy, like Arctic air with the hot air blowing. And I said, something is happening. So I left my body to see what was happening. And as I looked down at myself in the dream, I saw this storm brew, like a big electrical storm. Hey, China. Hey, Donald. Brew. It began to brew around me, and it was thundering and lightning in behind the clouds. So you've seen that during the day, during a day where it's nighttime or they're dark clouds, and it's thundering and lightning behind the clouds, so the clouds are illuminated. So it was thundering and lightning, and it was boiling around me. It was boiling around in the room, the storm. And then I began to levitate off the bed. And I levitated up high enough off the bed where the clouds were brewing around me in the top and going around my body, around and around. And I saw it. And I said, oh my God, you know, and in the dream, I said, there's something getting ready to happen, right? Something is getting ready to happen. I go back to, my body goes back to the bed. I go back into my body. And when I went into my body, I shook, because when it shook me, I didn't open my eyes, but I came aware. I was like, damn. And that's what I said. It was like, damn. And so then all of a sudden I heard like a little piercing noise. Have you ever had a ringing, like a ringing in your ear, but it was far off? It went, eh. And I heard it. So I said to myself, oh my God, I'm getting ready to have a visitation from the Holy Spirit. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have this feeling, this visitation. And so I heard it, and it was something talking. And when I turned my head slowly to the right, I turned my head to the right with my eyes still closed. I didn't want to open my eyes because I knew, and I said to myself, don't open your eyes, because the minute you open your eyes, it's going to go away. So I just turned my head when I was asleep to look with my eyes closed in that direction where the sound was coming from. And when I looked, well, when I turned my head, what I saw in the darkness was this pinhole of light, a little pinhole of light, and it was coming toward me. Now, mind you, remember I told you there was another room. I was in one bedroom. There's another room. The other room had the air conditioning, and that door was closed, and I had no air. I had no air conditioning, and so they closed off the door to keep me, you know, to keep me from being aware. And I'll just leave that, to be aware of what was away, and to keep the air condition in my house away from me. Another story. Anyway, so there was this pinhole of light, and the light grew bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was coming from the direction of that other room, which was to my right. And so I could, you'd be like, you know, that's the noise that I was hearing. And this figure came through the light. It was like this figure, and it looked like what we would think would be Jesus, right? There was this, hey Willie, there was this white light, right? Brilliant, beautiful white light. And there was this image coming, flying through the air toward me. And I was so excited. It's like, I'm about to have this experience. I'm about to have this experience. So I can't wait. And he was saying something. was saying something. I didn't know what he was saying, but I just knew it was Jesus. And what made me know that it was Jesus was that his hands were down, like out. You can't see. His hands were out like this, and he was like those pictures you see him when they're like, when he's like this. His hands were like that, and he was floating. And what I did was I said, I know it's him. Let me look for the nail prints in his hand. I was trying to see the nail prints in his hand, and I couldn't hardly see that. I looked for the nail prints in his feet, couldn't hardly see that, but because the light was so brilliant, right? And he was coming in. He was coming in. Was coming in, and he got really close, and he stood in the room, and he was just floating there. This apparition was just floating there and floating there. And I had my face turned toward him. Again, my eyes were not open. And so I said, I'm gonna be really quiet. I tried to kind of hold my breath a little bit. And so he leaned over to me and said, I'm not who you think I am. 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 I'm not who you think I am, and went away. And I said, well, damn, boy, who the hell is you? Right? And so it startled me. And when he flew away, he flew through me or past me, and that cold air rushed over me, and I woke up, you know. And that dream disturbed me for a long time. It's like, what do you mean, Jesus, you're not who I think you are? What do you mean, Holy Spirit, you're not who I think you are, right? I didn't, and it manifested. It manifested the interpretation of the dream. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. But the interpretation of the dream and the events following happened. And so I would have dreams like that. And so people would come to me when they would have their dreams and ask me about them. And so as I grew spiritually and began to really do what we would call in church warring in the spirit and spiritual warfare, the dreams got markedly worse. And I was always fighting. There was always a fight. There was always a war. There was always a battle. There was always need for me to wake up and pray, and there was always need for me to do this work, and it was so difficult and tiring. And so when I left the church, the first thing I said was, thank God I'm not in church no more. So I'll have to fight anymore. I don't have to have those dreams no more, because I'm not fighting, right? I'm not on their team. And so but as it turns out, because of the experience that I believe that I have, and the ability that I have or created to have lucid dreams, I continue to be a lucid dreamer. Yeah, Ophelia, yeah, it was cold air. What are you saying? It was frigid, cold air. And so I have these dreams. And so last night, well, the night before last, there was something that came into the bedroom. It came into the room. It was malevolent too. And again, I have more experiences with malevolent energies. People say, I was told, well, if you believe you're going to see evil things, and because I was a Christian, evil things and all this kind of stuff, then you will have those experiences. Why don't you ever have a whole lot of experiences of benevolent? But I do, but they're few and far between. I usually am one who I'm usually one who is led into like what we would call the devil's camp to see. And I would get messages, and I would hear things, and I would come back and share them. Most high fruit of worship I experienced, I was in a cold atmosphere. Yeah, there are aspects, Ophelia, of the various kinds of cold air. And so I know that not all warm air, because of that experience that I had, not with the entity saying, I'm not who you think I am. I know that there are light bearers who are not benevolent. Okay, so people who think and fashion themselves, or people who think that light, if it's light, it's beautiful, it's great. No, it's not. I learned that basic thing in church, that Satan was the light bearer, if you want to use that term. But I know that there are entities or experiences of the light that are malevolent. And those experiences of the light can either be warming and loving, what we would think would be warming and loving, and they can also be very cold. Cold atmosphere crossover to spirit dimensions. Absolutely. When I would have the cold experiences, I knew very clearly that I would have um, uh, visitations. Very, it's very distinct. And for those of you who haven't had an experience like that, you won't know what I'm talking about. But they're very, very distinct when you have those experiences. I've seen orbs and I've seen things. Angels have walked, and what I would call an angel, what we would think an angel is, not an apparition with wings, not that. A person, a person is all I can explain. A person of light. What reminded me of it was, you remember that show that used to come on with Della Reese, Touched by Angel? They were people, they weren't winged cherubs or anything like that. They were people. So I don't know how, what that is all about, but they were people. And so I had these experiences, and being a lucid dreamer means that when you are able, when you are in your dream state, you are able, I said this before, that you are able to manipulate your dream sequence and the narrative in your dream, and you're able to overcome whatever adversity you're having, or you're able to put yourself into the dream somewhere, teleport yourself somewhere. You're able to leave in and out. And I've often had dreams within a dream. Like I woke up out of a dream and went back to sleep, not waking up and going and finishing the dream, going back to the dream, but actually waking up what I thought was awake. And then I go back and have the dream again. I continue the dream, and then I wake up again. So it's a number of things. Yes, whole light beings. And people don't, some people don't believe that these things happen, but they freaking do happen. And there is a manifestation of it. So I had one came in a couple of nights ago, and got on the bed, and I felt my bed go down. I've had that experience before where someone crawled on my bed. Oh man, I can't watch. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe you can listen, Teresa. So anyway, they come and listen, he got on the bed. Okay, listen, he came in the room. I heard plain as day. Okay, on my bedroom door to my room, there is a necklace rack, right? Has all my jewelry, a lot of my jewelry, not all of it. The majority of my earrings are metal. It's a metal rack, and they're dangly. And I have necklaces on them because there are little hooks at the bottom. So when you open the door, the necklaces hit against the door. You can't open my door without it making some sort of noise. You can hear it. This particular night, I'm asleep. I don't remember the dream in particular, but I'm asleep, and I hear my door open. I didn't open my eyes, but I heard my door open. And so at the foot of my bed, I felt the presence, and I felt the presence lean on my bed. And as I was having the dream, now mind you, I'm having a dream. This presence come into my room while I'm having the dream, and he's standing there, and he's leaning against my bed and bumping my bed, and I take my foot and I kick him. I say, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like, and I wake up. Get the fuck out of here is what I said. Not tonight. And I get, and I wake up. But I woke up because I actually kicked my foot, and that kicking my foot woke me up. And I'm saying, now, okay, I was asleep. I remember my dream. And in my dream, I remember this person coming in. And so you have to be, I've got a good book for this called, what is it? Tell me about it. Because it happens quite often. And so those of you who are having dreams, those of you who are having reoccurring dreams, and you don't understand what's happening, Sometimes dream analysis can be really, really easy. Hey, Nathaniel, sometimes dream analysis or dream interpretation can be really easy. There are things that you can guess. Your dreams are symbolic most of the time. There are occasions where the dreams are prophetic, something that's going to happen in the future. A lot of times, sometimes your dreams are symbolic of what you are happening, or symbolic of some things. You get messages a lot of times in your dreams. So to say, so if you are having reoccurring bad dreams, or you're having nightmares, or you're having these things, you still need to write them down, because there could be other things happening out from the dream. There could be other, what does that mean, Ophelia? There could be, hey Marcus, hadn't talked to you in a long time. Hey George. There are other things that can be happening, okay, in the dream. So sometimes if you're dreaming, what you do is take note, write them all down, because color plays a part in it. Who's talking, who you're talking to, where you are, the scene, all of those things are important, or they play a part in it. Some parts of the dream make sense and it is a part of it, and there are other parts of the dream that does not go. It's just your random subconscious self, or your random thinking. Sometimes reality and your message are intertwined, or get mixed up in there. Let's see. What'd you say? Callie says that Carrie dream was a reoccurring nightmare for 12 years. It stopped when I moved out. And that could have a lot to do with it. And believe you, Lucid Dreams by was that Robert Wagner? Okay, I'll look that up, Teresa. Sometimes there are energy portals that open up where in places that you may be. There may be a place, and here people say, oh, that's hooey poppycock. Have you ever been in a place where people have been arguing and it's very tense, and it feels, they're not arguing now, but when arguing now, or at the time when you walk in, but they've been arguing, and you can feel this tense feeling, you can feel the heaviness, or you've gone to a place and you feel overwhelmingly sad for some reason and you can't pinpoint it, or you go to a place and you feel extremely blissful and happy and you don't know why. You know, we're talking about energy, right? That is in a place. It teaches you to control your dreams and interact. Oh, okay, I'll read it. Let's see. Ophelia says he was in the dream, then came through the door you projected. Oh, okay. Well, it could be. It absolutely could. It absolutely could be. But I've had so many experiences with energies that manifest in spirit, in a persona. I'll say that. Energies do collect. If cells and if atoms collect together and create a substance, spirit is energy. Cells, molecules, atoms, protons, neutrons, they're energies. So if pieces of energies can come together to form a compound of such, then it happens spiritually. I'm a big proponent that if I can find it in nature, I know that I can find it in nature. I can find it in reality. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? I know that there is a reality. So if two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom can find themselves together and create water, then you can find energies that come together that manifest in a persona, in a more tangible way. Thank you, Ophelia, in a tangible way. So these things, so you take note in your dreams, you take note of your dreams, you take note of how you feel in the dream, what you see in the dream, okay? All of those things play a part in you, helping you to understand. Here's some key things to keep in mind. Generally, not all the time, because just about everybody's dream is unique to them. So what I may understand in my dream to be one thing may be different in yours, okay? So, but overall, you know, for the most part, if you're dreaming about your old house where you used to live, where you grew up, or your grandmother or your grandmother's house or your grandparents' house or the old farm or the old place, all these kinds of things. Yeah, it is science, right? All these old kinds of things, it generally means old mindsets, back to and an old mindset does not have to be a bad thing, but previous beliefs, old mindsets, the past, and dealing with issues of the past. It makes sense. It's common sense, right? It also, sometimes in your dreams, they can be opposite, right? They can be opposite. You may see something, a man in your dream is not really a man, it's a woman, but the energy can be masculine. It doesn't matter. You know, it's really molecularly. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see. Callie said something up there. What did you say, Callie? Callie said, oh Lord, here I go with this old crazy computer. Callie says now she's on the other side, apologizes, saying she didn't understand what she was doing, but I seen in life that she did know what she was doing. So keep that same energy, as above, so below. Right, right. Um, I've not had anything to, or any one energy or energy embodiment to apologize, or to, I've not had that experience. However, I have had experiences with people who are have not been good people on this side, and they wind up being not good people on the other side. But there are reasons why some of the experiences that I've had, not all of them. But we're just talking about energy, and energy can manifest or coagulate or to come together in ways that manifests hey Elizabeth, that manifests into solid form, right? Or into spirit form. So I know that, oh, okay. So let me get back, because, you know, you guys, I'm very random, and I don't stay on target when I'm saying, so you got to help me stay focused. Cellular memory restored. What you saying? Molecularly, thought forms, cellular. Okay. Yeah. And that is, here's another thing. So let me just say this. In the dream that I had, there was a woman who was demon possessed. Hey, Tabiel. There was a woman who was demon possessed. And when she opened her mouth, you guys saw the movie Alien or Predator, when they open their mouth and all these other teeth and stuff come out. She opened her mouth, and there were all these sharp teeth. And so in one instance, if I want to use that as a symbol, if I want to use it as a mirror for me and the things that I say, that can be used in that way. You know, the words and the things that project from my mouth. Be mindful of this, and this is what happens. And this is, you know, when you have things that are in your belly, right? And okay, I didn't say she was pregnant. I told you guys that before on a post that I had. There are things in abundance in your belly. And when you open your mouth, you can use your mouth as a weapon and a tool, you know, with these teeth that would tear and rip. So that is very useful. That's a very useful analogy or symbolic. And she was bleeding, so looks like she was miscarrying, right? And so that has a lot to do with it. You know, you can use that to make sure, oh, I'm not going to miscarry my baby, meaning my ministry, the work that I have. I am full and abundant. I will carry this out to term, and the baby will be healthy. That is what your dreams, desires, goals, intentions, or whatever. I will not create terror in my life from the things that I say and the things that I do. So you can actually change the concept of your dreams and by analyzing them. Also in that respect, when you see demonic entities, especially ones with sharp teeth, or if you see demons in your dreams, or you're chased by them, you might need to do some checking on your health. Sometimes demons, if you are one, you know, not if one is chasing you, if you are one, if you become one in your dream, if you change into some benevolent energy in your dream, then it may have a lot to do with how you are feeling, what's going on with you, what is happening with your body, with your health concerns, your mental, emotional state. Those things have, they manifest in those ways. So there can be aspects of you in your dream. So when you begin to analyze them, then it'll take the scare out of them, and you don't necessarily have to think, oh, something bad is going to happen, you know, this, that, and now I've had dreams where things happened as I dreamed them, you know, and those are pretty scary. But the things that happen usually with me is not so much in a dream. Mine is in a vision. So we would say in church, I would have open-eyed visions. That means I was not asleep when I had this, you know, had a vision. And it's not a dream. It's actually, I saw this in a vision. So I would be awake and maybe I nodded off during the day, or I've had one when I was driving. And then that was kind of scary, having an open-eyed vision while peace, Kelsey, while I was awake. It was really, I don't even know how I got from the place that I was to the door to my house. I have no idea. I could not recall any of it. And a lot of times that has a lot to do with self-hypnosis. And a lot of us do it a lot of times. We have self-hypnosis when we do in routine a certain thing. We go a certain route and we drive, and then finally on a day off, you get in your car and you wind up at work, or you wind up going like you're going to work. And you say, why am I going this way? Well, it has a lot to do with habit and self-hypnosis. Or when you get in your car and you don't really realize how you got where you were going. So yeah, you call them live visions, Ophelia. Yeah, we used to call them open-eyed visions. That is a form of hypnosis, and it is a form of, you know, vision, especially if there's something that happens that you see on that journey, on that ride. But just be aware of it. One of the things that I did when I was in church was what they called I was a scribe in the ministries that I was a part of. I was a scribe. It was my responsibility to write down prophetic dreams, prophetic words. We would say, you know, when God speaks in a service, in a church service, thus saith the Lord, or if someone has something that they say God or the Holy Spirit and whatever gave them, then it was my responsibility to write down what they said. I would put the date that they said it, you know, the date, who said what, the time, what was going on around it. And the purpose was, as I was commissioned to do so, the purpose was then to watch how these things manifested, to have a log of them. Well, it could be. It is the trance state, Callie, is a form of self-hypnosis. And so it happens. And sometimes you have those hypnosis kinds of occurrences or trance states where you have past life. Hey, Deanna, how are you? Where you have past life experiences as well. You can go various places. Hey, A. Griffin, how are you? And Siobhan, how are you? Thank you for joining. I'm about at the end of it now. Anyway, so you can have various things to happen. And many of us, another assumes form. Okay. So sometimes you have these dreams as messages, things you need to know about yourself, things you need to know about the people around you or your environment, things you need to know about the community of life of people as a whole, what's going to happen. And so many times we miss these cues of life telling us, hey, listen, go this way and don't go that way. You know, if you go this way, then you'll miss these tragedies, or you'll miss these things, or turn this way, you'll be connected some way, shape, or form. So you have to really be mindful of what it is that you are dreaming about. And one of the things I refuse to do, I stopped doing, and I just do not do, I don't sleep with my TV going. Your TV can influence your dream state and what is going on. So if you want to, hey, Anja, hey, Rumi, So if you want to have a really good, clear dream, make sure that you don't sleep with your TV on. As a matter of fact, sleeping with your TV on is the absolute no-no as far as getting rest, the proper rest. TVs not only can influence your dream state, but TVs can interfere with your neurological circuitry while you sleep because of that blue light. You know, it messes you up. So a lot of you guys who have problems sleeping, if the TV is on, that is an issue. TV, phone, laptop, iPad, all this other kind of stuff is absolute no. So thank you. Thank you, Ophelia. So, so a lot of things happen within our dream state, and a lot of messages you get within your dream state, you can use them as barometers or gauges, or something to follow in your conscious state, right? So, usually before bed, I drink water, maybe about 30 minutes or an hour before bed. I drink about 16 ounces of water. So, and I do that so that I can probably go to the bathroom before I go to sleep. But it's always a good practice to make sure you drink some water before bed, before bedtime, and get yourself into a place. This is why turning the TV off is good. Getting yourself into a place where you can have good dreams. And so if you are a person who have typically bad dreams, or if you're concerned about dreams, this is why downtime before bed is important. So if you are a praying person, or if you're a spiritual person, you can do your spiritual attunements or your spiritual connections before bed. You set your bedtime to be a certain time. That means you turn your TV off at a certain time, and then maybe an hour before bed, you do whatever rituals or whatever practices that you have. You do those. You drink your water, you do your breathing exercises, you take note and stock of your day. You tell yourself, okay, these are the things that I want to ponder and consider while I'm asleep. You get your messages while you're asleep, and you do those things, and so you will be able to have more of a pleasant experience in your dream state. Generally, it works for a lot of people. It has worked for me. So when you prepare yourself for sleep, it's just another dimension of awareness, right? That's how I see sleep, is another dimension of awareness. We have our conscious awareness, and we have our subconscious awareness, or our unconscious awareness and our subconscious awareness. Okay, so our conscious awareness is what we're doing during the day, and a lot of times our conscious awareness, they work hand in hand, or they work back and forth with each other. Your conscious awareness can affect your subconscious and your unconscious awareness, right? So your subconscious awareness is things that you kind of do subconsciously. You just don't think about it. You're asleep, you know, your body works, you breathe, your blood flows, subconscious, right? And then you have your unconscious state, where you are not aware of what is going on, period. There is no, that awareness of no awareness. Okay, so you have levels to it. It's kind of like your iceberg. At the top, your consciousness is the iceberg that peaks out of above the water. Your subconscious is below the water level, and your unconscious is the bottom tip of your iceberg, right? And so you use the time before bed to do your awareness, to get yourself ready for the next realm of consciousness, right? So that it helps a lot of people, and it helped me because I used to be terrorized in my dreams. Ophelia says, I don't have nothing on in my sleep, total darkness. Yeah, me either. I had been lately. I'm looking at my window. I had because my grandbaby sleeps with me sometimes, and I have to, he's a baby, so he's like 4 months. And so I didn't feel comfortable with him being, with us co-sleeping, and with the lights being completely off. I needed to be able to see him, make sure he's breathing, make sure the cover's not over his head, that kind of thing. So I got a Himalayan salt lamp, and that orange glow was great. And I put it in my window sill and closed my curtains over it. So it gave a nice, glowy, beautiful, warm, glowy light. That's fine. But overall, I sleep in complete darkness. complete darkness. And in that complete darkness, that is the things that I think about, what I want to happen for the next day, and then I go on into my next awareness, right? And so, and usually at that time, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for this day. I'm thankful for the opportunity that I had. If I didn't do things quite the way I want to, I forgive myself during this time, and I look forward, awaking to the next day on a positive level. So then if I have a dream that is malevolent in some sort of way, I could have orchestrated that by the things that I was worried about prior to. So I try not to worry about things before I sleep, right? So that they won't manifest in a way of a dream that is less than desirous, right? However, last night, I did have a concern. Last night when I went to sleep, I had a concern about my heart. And I was concerned that I was having heart palpitations. And I've said this before to you guys that, hey, Carlos, hey, Sean, I've said this to you before. When you have had a near-death experience, death is not far away. It's very present. And so sometimes I think, you know, when my heart flutters or when I have something to happen, is this it? Is this the one? Is this going to happen? Hey, Anthony, Grand Risings, Carlos. And so last night I kind of had that foreboding or that kind of concern. And so that could have contributed to the dream. But the good thing about it is I'm able to get up in the morning and say, okay, this is what I dreamed about. This is what was on my mind before I went to bed. This is how this is what played out in my dream. And where does my consciousness or my awareness, my conscious awareness, how did it filter into my subconscious and my unconscious dreaming, right? And so then when I get up, then I'm not scared if something's going to get me or these kinds of things. And then even with that, then I know that I can overcome. And part of, if you guys don't remember, oh gosh, I'm going so long. I said at the beginning that there was a mantra that I repeated when I was young. And because I was in the church, I said scriptures, greater is he that is in me than he that is in and of the world. I would say that I have all power has been given unto me. I am the majesty and the righteousness of the manifested Son of God. I have all power in my hands. I am not a victim, I am a victor. And so all of these things I would say and recite so that when I go to sleep or in my dream state, I could have power over whatever is going to happen. So again, lastly, just to say, friends, fan watching, when you have dreams, whether they are scary type dreams or mysterious kinds of dreams or something you don't understand, it's a good practice to write them down. Journal, 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 journal. Have a notepad and pencil by your bed, a journal by your bed, your laptop. If you have the microphone feature on your laptop, or your iPad, that can interrupt your sleep. But if you're waking up writing, that's going to interrupt your sleep too. So if you have one there, if you wake up, write it down. When you wake up, write it down or dictate what you have heard and seen and how you felt about it. This way you will be able to have a log of the things that are happening, and you may notice a reoccurring kind of theme that's going on in your dream, and that reoccurring theme may be something that you subconsciously are dealing with, that you in your awareness, in your awake awareness, you don't realize that you have that concern. So again, lucid dreamers, those of us who dream at the point of consciousness or awareness, keep that up, because it's a fantastic tool to help you through your spiritual journey, as well as it is a fantastic tool to help you in your conscious state and awareness in your environment. Do you guys have any questions? If you have any, you can note them there. I'll put aside some time for you guys to leave some messages. If you have dreams that you are having that you need help with, I do dream analysis for a fee. Come on, y'all. So if you can tell me some things within the first few minutes, 15 minutes of a dream, and you say, hey, I got a question. I have a dream about blah, 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 write it down, and I can throw it out to you free of charge. That is my give back part. But if it is a dream that we need to analyze it, we need to talk about it, we need to go over some things. If it's going to take some time, then that is something that I have to charge for. Okay, so my charging is not a lot. You guys know that I really firmly believe what I learned in church. What I learned is, when I do the work of the ministry, then God, source all, will provide for me. So what I charge is not much. And so we're going to do an hour session. It's $1 a minute, $60. That's not bad. Most sessions that I have with people are only $45. $45. People are charging $120, $200, $75. No. I want to be able to feed my family, true enough, and be able to do things. But I have favor, and favor is a fantastic thing. When you have favor, you do not have to worry about money. Let's see. A. Griffin, you advised me to journal my dream about 3 years ago, and OMG, I had no idea how prophetic my dreams are. Absolutely, sis, absolutely. They are so, you have to share some with me. I would love to hear some of your dreams, but this is a gift. Being able to dream and remember your dreams it's a gift. It's a gift, and you have to treat it with respect. And what's this thing doing? You have to treat it with respect, and look at it as a gift, so that you will do the right things with it. You'll nurture it and foster good things with it. You'll nurture it. I'll just say that you'll nurture it, and it will evolve. And you will find, most of you will find out that you are more spiritually attuned and aware than you think you are, or that you have way more spiritual giftings than you realize. Sola says, question, what is it when you and another person have the same dream at the same time? My daughter and I had the same dream, and they both were perfectly lined up as far as timing. Well, that's fantastic. And maybe you and your daughter are very spiritually connected. A lot of times now, if you have a person who is, was she a preemie? Just side note, was she a preemie, Sola? Was your daughter a preemie? But a lot of times, spiritual giftings, just like your DNA, just like being able to sing, spiritual gifting goes from one person, one child, from the parent to the child. A lot of times, having the simultaneous dreams, those dreams, write them down. As I said before, okay, she's not. Okay, write them down, and write just something just went shoot. Write them down, and then within that dream, note some of the things that are similar in that dream. Figure out where she is and where you are consciously, what things are going on with you consciously, without knowing anything that you dream about. Yeah, it is possible when people are close and spiritually aware, or sorry y'all, my eyebrows off. Squirrel. Some of you guys, if you are close and spiritually aware, then you may indeed have very similar dreams or same dreams. So that's a good thing. That's something really to take note of. That's what you need to know, and to be aware of. If you want to, you can send me some more information. The reason why I felt like she was, I was asking you, I didn't feel like she was, I was asking you if she was a preemie, because a lot of times preemies are very spiritually attuned. especially when there's that near-death experience that they've had. And so that's why I was asking if she was a preemie. But any other questions? I hope, Sola, I gave you enough information. I mean, that was very basic. Yeah, but it's possible. It's very possible. That's why people who are in two different places can, oh, thank you. That's why people that are in two different places in two different cities can have premonitions or dreams about something that's going to happen. And, you know, you're thinking about someone, or, you know, you have a dream and the person has a dream because you're connected in that way. And so it's something that needs to be noted. So please, please follow that through. Follow that, especially if it's reoccurring. I appreciate you so much too. So I think that might be it. And my cigar has gone out, y'all. I let my cigar go out. It was so early to smoke this. I had to have it. I don't know. So that's about it. Again, if you guys have any questions about your dreams, if you need some help with it, I do analysis. And of course, those sessions are really easy. It's just fact finding. And then after we do the fact finding, then I can submit to you an analysis of the dream, or we can just have that conversation. Sometimes we can do it right then, especially if I hear right then what's going on, then I can give it to you right then. So without further ado, it's 11:48 in the AM, and I am getting ready to sign off. I do have another live to do concerning herbs and what have you. And I sat here and did not drink my my morning ritual tea drink here. So you guys be blessed. Dadgum is almost cold. And I will talk to you soon. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.